Hi there. Let me start the show today with a little fun fact. Yeah? Are you ready? So did you know that cocoa butter is a gem? Like literally. It was used as currency way back when it was first discovered in Ghana and famously referred to as the brown gold of Africa. Why am I telling you this? Well, I just thought I'd share a little secret to that beautiful supple skin because of our favorite partner, Nivea, who are back here with us, and we have a special package for our guest today, and this is the Nourishing Cocoa Cream. That is just what you need. If you have dry skin like myself, this really works for me. So stay tuned. We're going to come with a guest right now. She's an amazing lady whose story is just building something out of nothing, and today her story will empower you, and we want to celebrate her together with Nivea. So let's begin the show. Stay right there. Don't move. Hi there. Like I mentioned earlier, our show today is quite a story of growth with many twists and turns, but the end of it all is quite something. Our guest today is Chep. I can't say your full name. Abusama vizuri watu wasikie.
Hodia Chepchikoni.
Isema tena?
Hodia.
Hodia?
Hodia Chepchikoni.
Wow. I'll try that later in the show, but welcome to Unscripted.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for hosting me.
Yes, we know you as you have your own restaurant. You've opened a second one. And just the journey to getting there has been, rather interesting, for the lack of a better way of putting it. But before we get into that, I'd like people to know who Chep is. So who is Chep? Where did you grow up? How can you describe yourself?
Chep is a foodpreneur who grew up in Kericho.
Say it again, foodpreneur.
Yeah, foodpreneur, an
Word of
entrepreneur
the day.
who majors in food. Yeah, so I grew up in Kericho in a, I won't call it, it's like a ghetto called Majengo.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up, was brought up by a single mom.
I see.
Who gave me the best life.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I went to boarding school in class 1 because basically she was juggling parenting and all that, so I had to go to boarding school.
Were you the firstborn? How many siblings are you?
No, I was the last born.
Okay.
I have 3 older siblings.
Okay.
So I went to boarding school in class 1, and my mom was a good parent. She would visit me at least every week because it was close to where we used to stay and her workplace.
Okay.
So when I was in around class 5, she got married. She met someone, got married, and one time I came home and we had moved houses to her new house. She had built a house, then the other family moved in. So it became a blended family.
In this generation, we hear the conversation a lot about blended families and how apparently, you know, it's just the meshing of it and how it works. Now, from your experience, if you could paint that reality, how is it like for you?
First of all, for me, as a child, I had expectations. Considering I was in boarding school, I would see guys being visited by their complete families. So I had expectations, but since I saw that, first of all, my mom was a single mom, I had made peace with that.
What expectations? What do you mean?
But now, like, fatherly expectations, like, I always wanted to have a dad who'd see me, teach me things like football and all that. And just that you're having two parents, and having one who's favoring you, the other. So I really wanted that, but I did not put pressure on my parent because she was very present. But when she got married, I was like, wow, so this is it. Like,
so were you excited?
It's coming to, I was very excited because I remember he came for visiting day, and honestly, the first time he was nice. I cannot forget, he brought me some colors, put in a pencil colors, put in a carton, then it had a sharpener on top. And I had wanted that so bad. So I loved it, and I was like, wow, this is actually nice. And then the other weekend, they took me from school to just go to town and eat and enjoy. And we came back to school, and I was happy. So suddenly, now they moved in, and it was a blended family. I met now my other brothers. And they were very different. They were brought up in a very different background, and me a very different background. And it was somehow difficult.
By different household. What do you mean? How different were you guys?
Yes,
What
we
do
were
you
very
mean?
different. Like, they were a little bit cheeky. They
Were they all boys?
Yeah, boys.
And you were all girls.
Yeah, and then they knew a lot of mother tongue. No, I was like the child who was there, and my brother, because my older siblings were married, the two of them. So it was just me, my brother, them, and cousins. So now let's just say, a few years later, I realized my expectations were not met, because there was the comparison of my kids and your kids. And
who was doing that? Your stepdad or your mom?
Yeah, now the stepdad, he was comparing, like, his kids are sharper than my kids. So, and me, I was just, say I was not bad, like, I was primary school 380 max hapo, but now them, they were like 420, 450. Okay. So there was that comparison, and we kind of felt bad. And at some point, he had a car. My mom didn't have a car. So he would take his kids on his car, and then us, we take matatu and meet him there. It was just...
You're going to the same place?
Yes,
but you can't go together?
Yes. And you know, all this time, my mother, I think she was torn, because there is us, she loves us so much, and there is him. She was really trying to make us happy by ensuring we have the best. If I wanted to go on any school trip, I would go, but still there was still, yeah. And with time now, we didn't talk to him at all.
But when this is happening, how old were you?
I was almost class 7 Apple, class 8.
So how did that make you feel? I mean, you're old enough to understand.
It made me feel really bad.
Yeah.
Even in school, it made me feel bad, because remember, I wanted this, and now it's there, and it's not what I thought it was. So I started looking at people's fathers. I'm like, do they do this to their kids? Like, is this what they go through also? You know, so I started being very keen on my peers, looking at their relationships with their fathers and everything. And then I was in denial. Sometimes I would try to create a bond with him, maybe ask him something, even about cars, and he'd just
brush it off.
Yeah, like,
as much as it's, you know, father and son, mother and daughter, the father-daughter relationship is very, very important.
Yeah, really.
How did that affect your self-esteem and just being a young woman? I
started feeling some certain way about men, and felt like they are not as loving as women, mothers, daughters, and all that. And also, at this point, I was not so close to my mom now, because she was like in the middle of all this. But I still loved her, and she still loved me so much and gave me the best life. In fact, she took me to a certain, now when I went to high school, she took me to a high school. She observed I wasn't comfortable, took me to a better school, so and I was okay.
By saying she observed, so did you communicate to your mom?
No.
That you went with
no,
all?
But she just, so, you know, there was that coldness we had between now me and my siblings, and then him and the kids. And then there were always sibling quarrels here and there. So she just saw I wasn't comfortable, so she took me to a better school. And there, you know, when you're in school, you forget all about your problems and everything, you know. Yeah. But now one thing I didn't like was, anytime we would go like for a family function, or he comes to see me in school, all the time he's like irritated, like he's not happy to be here. He's like not happy to like, so the whole time I was just feeling so bad. Would I like to go back to the dynamics of being in a blended family? So from you, I don't know if you could speak to those at home, what lessons can you share from that? I'd say, if you meet someone and you love them, and they have kids, and say you have kids, don't just look at you loving them. Question yourself, like, ask yourself, am I ready to be a parent to other kids? Am I ready to love them equally? Am I ready not to compare them? Because you not being a full parent damages them. It damaged me. I have disregarded men almost all my life. I have just recently started to... There's just a way I felt about... Even if someone told me they love me, I'm like, very soon it will just turn out like other people I know. So it really affected me. So if you're not ready to love kids and accept them as they are, and take full responsibility, like, you love me even when I make a mistake, you'll still punish me. I'm not special, and I am just your child. If you're not ready to do that, just say bye-bye and move on and just find someone you can both come and have kids. Yeah. Thank you.
Back to your story. So you managed to finish campus
Yes,
thanks
I
to a
finished.
well-wisher.
Yeah.
You finished.
And now the weird thing, when I finished campus, you know, the people in campus, they're like, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a what?
Yeah.
I didn't know what I want to be. I was just like,
So what were you
campus is
studying?
a necessary process in life.
What were
I
you studying?
studied BCom.
Okay. So you knew you'd do business.
Yeah, not business. I didn't even know I do business. I was
Okay.
just those people who are going with the flow.
Got it.
I did have like a sense of direction.
Okay.
So when I finished campus, I was just there. I didn't get a job. Then I met this chick. She was slightly younger than me.
Yeah.
She was selling underwear, and she approached me in a salon. Then I just liked her. I was like, wow, this chick is doing something great for herself. We became friends. And then one day she calls me and tells me, Chep, we can start selling clothes and it would do well. So she told me, tomorrow, look for money. Tomorrow morning, we go to Mtindwa. You know Mtindwa in Buruburu? Yeah. So I looked, I think, for like 2,000 bob. We went to Mtindwa, we shopped, got nice dresses and tops for like 30 bob. We started selling. So I was taking photos and posting online.
Oh, really?
And the reception was good and people bought the clothes. It really helped me survive.
I'd like you to speak about work ethic to those at home watching and like the little you have in your hand, whatever you can do, imagine just go because you never know. Because you said it blew up. You went and you posted and people were buying. So talk about the importance of just getting work done.
So the thing I'll say, first of all, the difference between successful people and people who are not successful is the successful people put their opportunities and dreams before their excuses. And people who are not successful put their excuses in front of, You're like, I want to do this, but your excuses are on top.
You're tweeting that.
So your excuses are here and your dreams and opportunities are here. Yeah. So for me, when I saw this is an opportunity, I did not want anything to hinder me. And you see, the thing that maybe most youth don't know, you never need millions of capital. You don't. As little as 500 bob, you're good. Grace, if you buy a tray of eggs in the morning for 300 bob and sell each at 20, Jioni you have 600 bob. Tomorrow morning you buy 2, Jioni you have 1,200 bob. That's and it true. Goes on like that. But people don't have that
lack
patience.
The patience.
Yeah. You just want to be an overnight millionaire, and it's next to impossible.
They say overnight success takes 10 years to be that overnight success. Welcome back to Unscripted, and special thanks to our usual spot, Radicinian Arboretum. Lovely. Do you like this place? So much. Like the ambience?
I come here for a date.
You come for a date?
Yes.
That's what's up. So you're telling us before the break, you sold mtumba and it was doing very well. And then what next?
Nikauzauza mtumba, then I was to graduate in December. And then...
because you're doing it badoki, you're not
finished school? No, I finished school. Now I was just waiting to graduate. Okay. Yeah, everything else was set. Okay. So around October 2015, one of my brothers from my blended family took his life.
Why did that happen?
This boy was sharp, and it has actually made me promise myself one thing. When I get children, I will not push them like to be AA materials. I want a balanced child.
Kwanini, what did you see from your
He was too sharp, but he did not have proper communication skills. And also he was not socially okay. Let's just say that. Yeah. So he took his life, and at that point things were really nasty for the family. And it's
How old was he when he took his own life?
He was in second year. That's like 19.
So do you know why? Was he stressed out at school? Is it the whole family dynamics?
He had an alcohol problem. I see. Yeah. And at that point, zile pia stress za nyumbani na hizo mvutano. And by then the semester had just begun. It was like a week into the semester. Yeah. Hey, that thing now made everything worse now. Because now, you know, one thing people don't know about suicide, it brings a lot of blame game. And what if and why not? Even me, I started asking myself, was maybe I wasn't
there
good
for
enough
him.
as a sibling. Maybe I did not talk to him and encourage him
You blamed
more.
yourself.
Yeah, I blamed myself. Of course, even my parents blamed themselves. In fact, my stepdad felt really bad about it. He was
What
in
did he say?
denial. He did not say much. He was also kind of disappointed. You know, this is your son. And you know what was sad? I was to graduate in December. So you can imagine with the comparison there was, you've lost your son, and on this other end, I was graduating. So
it's kind of hard to celebrate and also mourn the loss of a brother.
And maybe now he felt that maybe I'm thinking he felt like a loser, or he felt like he failed as a parent. Yeah, but he didn't come to my graduation because, of course, as I said, we didn't have that kind of. I don't think he even knew I graduated or something.
But now just to speak on suicide within a family, because there are family members watching who probably have lost a member to suicide, or there are people who are considering suicide. I like that you mentioned a bit of the reality, what it does to the family left behind. You mentioned there's a blame game. You think, oh, I should have been a better sibling. But if you could paint that picture, what is the reality of when you lose someone that close to you? What does it do to the family?
Everyone is quiet. Everyone is thinking what should they have done. Everyone is trying to think what might have been the cause. And we are humans. You'll tend to think it's more of your fault more than my fault. Maybe you should have done this. They should have done that. So it tears you apart somehow, you know?
Yeah.
And
how did you guys overcome? How did you deal with it?
Do you know that is something that even when someone mentions it at home, it's spoken with very
harsh tones.
Yeah, like even when you attend the funeral of someone who took their own life, even there's just like a certain spirit in there. People, you know, when you go to a funeral for maybe someone successful who lost their life in an accident, in as much as it's sad, there's a togetherness.
But this one was different.
Yeah, this one it's different.
I see.
It's like you're seated like this, so you're looking at the other person like this.
You're all almost hands off in the situation.
Yeah. Even the talk is not much, and they actually buried the person early.
Really?
Like no much talk and all that.
It's done quietly and finished.
So I really wish anyone who wants to take their life, I really wish they can for a moment take their time to think about the impact, because it leaves like a permanent mark in people's lives. Everyone will always be wondering, ningefanya nini? What would I have done?
Yeah.
How would have I made it things better for them? So it's really hard.
So yeah, how was work life for you? So you get a job, are you okay? Are you able to handle?
Yeah, I'm at least better. Okay. Remember, Mom had gone bankrupt.
Oh yes.
Yeah, things had become really, really bad. They almost auctioned our home.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So at least I started sending Mom something small. At some point, I took an off from work. I think 2 weeks I went to see her. When I went to see her, she was sad. She started crying. She started telling me things are bad. She was even thinking of looking for a house girl job. I told her, Mom, no, the way you've come, like, you know, there was a time things were so good. My mom would pay school fees for me around 100,000. That was really a lot of money. Things were so good. And then they just flipped. I was like, even if they flip like this, my mom can't be...
Exactly.
Can't go back.
Hearing her say that, you're like, you can't let that happen.
Yeah. And now I'm looking at the person she made these sacrifices for and took the loans for, educated the children, doesn't even care about anything going on. So I was also bitter. Like, I love her, I'm trying to encourage her, but I'm bitter. I'm like, what did you do?
So that affected your relationship with her?
Yeah, so I was like, Mom, you know, that was something really bad you did, because hey, it has affected us so much. Because, you know, even in your life when you have money, there's like a certain lifestyle you're used to.
Yeah.
Pesa ikienda, you're just...
Things change.
Yeah, because like me, I was so used to, if it's shoes, I have the best quality. If it's school, I go to the best. If it's unga kupika, it's the best. If it's rice, it's the best. So imagine that life, and then it just comes down. So anyway, we talked. Hey, Mama kahasol. At some point, she was she was walking around with food, selling food.
Okay,
At some point, she started mtumba.
Is that when your relationship fell apart?
No.
Uh-huh.
You know, we had a very funny relationship. I'm angry at her, but I love her.
You still love her? She's your mom.
Even my siblings. So ilikuwa mvutano. So every time we talk to mom, we love you, but Aki, you messed up. Can't you? We were telling her, can you get out of this marriage? We are going to support you. At that time, she was scared. Like, how do I just walk out? What will people think of me? What will you mean? And those cocoons really put people down in life. But one thing I've come to realize, when even your friend is going through maybe an abusive marriage or anything,
was she
encourage
abusive?
them. No, he was not abusive. Okay. Don't tell them leave. Just encourage them. One day they will call you and tell you, by the way, nilitoka.
Yeah.
1 month I've been living in my own house. You're like, hey, hata huku niita nikuje na lori. So that's how things change. So,
so just be there for them.
Yeah. So we're there for mom.
Okay.
And then I quit my job in October 2016.
Why?
Hizo frustrations zote. Customer service, you know, you need to be smiling all the time. Hi, welcome to blah, blah, blah. My name is, how can I help you?
And so that time there's so much happening inside
so sometimes I'd go to work. I just cry the whole day. So instead of leaving this job place in bad terms, I just quit. I quit without a plan. But in my head, I knew this is not what I want to do. I want to do something else that I don't know what it is, but this is not it. I just want to do something else. So I had saved my salary kidogo. So the person I was seeing back then, we started a pork business in a bar. When you go to a bar and then there are stalls for food. So we took one and started selling pork. It was doing good, but what really drained me was I had to work sometimes till late night. Selling food to drunkards can be hectic.
I can imagine.
Mara, they don't want to pay. Mara, they start saying the food had a lot of bones. They will not pay.
Yeah.
They want to touch you disrespectfully.
Yeah.
Hey, I had enough of that. One day I just stopped going.
I can imagine.
So I just said, I told him, I can't do this. Just hire someone who will do it. I did not tell him my reasons.
And so what finally led to the decision to get into food business officially?
So I used to cook well, and my friends would tell me jokes every time. See, you may take it seriously, this thing of yours. I was just there. So one time,
those things your people around you see and notice about
imagine,
you. Yes,
that's
there's
the
something there. Yep.
Yeah. So a friend from Thika texted me one day and told me, Chep, me I'm a bachelor, I can't cook. So you cook for me, I'll pay you. I laughed. How do I even do that? How do I cook for you? You pay me. He's like, you come to my house, I buy everything you cook, and then you charge me labor. I went.
So that was your first experience?
Yes. So technically, that is how my business started. And just so you know, my capital was 50 bob. Okay. The fare to Thika.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I cooked for him.
What did you make? What was your first meal?
Egg curry.
Did you meal prep for a week?
Yes. So I cooked. I pack rice kidogo, mboga, nyama ama mayai, and then I label. Okay. So his work was just to read what he wants and warm. That life was sweet for him.
And for you, how was that first experience, getting your first client?
Yes, nilichoka, by the way, cooking, scrubbing those sufurias, nini. But I felt this is actually something I can do. So I posted about it, and the feedback was nice. People were like, so you do this, sounds good. Some of us, we work, we can't cook, nini. And that's how the business started, jokes. So I started getting a lot of calls. Started doing a lot of work. So with time, I actually got an assistant. So tukienda kazi ananisaidia kukata vitu, kupika nini. The business grew. And then it got to a point. Now the disadvantage of that household thing, it's like you can only serve one person in a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only one person, so it's kind of hard to...
Yeah. So ikafika point, I get many orders the same day.
Like, what do you do?
Yes. So a good friend of mine bought me gas, sufuria, those things. Nikaanza kupikia home.
I see.
Yeah, so I cook home and then now...
And you deliver.
Yeah, and then you see these boda guys, make them your friend.
Kwa nini?
They are the best. Because my boda guy helped me. I was just cooking. He comes, I take it to him, anapeleka, anarudi. He takes another one. That's how I started growing. And remember, at this point, I had moved out to stay alone. Hata sikuwa na kakitu. My sister bought me a mattress from Kamukunji for 3,500.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Then you have your cooker there and your...
And by then, you know, if there's one thing I have always, as I said, self-awareness, there are things you know about yourself. If something I've always known about myself, I never have a problem with whatever I have. I'm always contented, but I want to work for more. So even at that point, I was very happy. If you'd meet me, you wouldn't even know nimetoka wapi. I was just like, I know this is just a story. This is a testimony coming through.
Amen.
Yeah, so I never had a problem. So nika grow, I started cooking for people.
Yeah.
My brand grew thoroughly. Even on social media, got a little bit of endorsements here and there.
Yeah.
And then now, last year, July, God did it for me and I opened the first branch with a partner.
Welcome back to Unscripted. Thank you so much for staying with us, for tuning in, for engaging. We appreciate your feedback each night or each time we're on air. Special thanks to our client who's come back on board. Nivea, we love you. I hope you love their products. Do you use Nivea?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'll say me too kusema.
Ukweli. I use Nivea moisturizer.
Oh, fantastic.
And I like the balm.
You said the right thing. I may have something for you at the end of the show. But you're telling me, so you opened your own restaurant, and I'm sure that moment must have been quite something. How did your family, were they supportive?
So much.
Yeah?
And you know the best thing, my mom now, things had changed so much. She had filed for divorce. The divorce went through. And then I really
what got her to that level where she said enough is
Imagine, after hiyo mvurutano yote, one day she just wakes up and tells us, by the way, me, I've started filing for divorce. She didn't even tell us when she was starting. When you guys are old and grown and you've left the home. Yeah, and we left home, we've made peace, like, we are good, we go visit her. She just told us, hey, me, I'm filing for divorce. And things started changing. She added weight. She looked good. Yeah. And then the women rep of Kericho County employed my mom.
Oh,
and you see,
to do what?
She works at the women rep office. She's a secretary. Oh, wow. So it really, you know, even when your mind is busy.
Yes, yes.
Plus, she's really helped her with a lot of things. So my mom became busy. So ata akili inafunguka. Like, you stop thinking about your problems all the time.
We have young people watching at home who maybe are thinking of being entrepreneurs, foodpreneurs, and they need a few tips on the business life. So if you could, what are your top, if you can, either 5 or 3 tips of running a business, starting a business and sustaining? What would you tell people at home?
Number 1, don't do a business that does not set your soul on fire.
Hey! Usiforce kama uwezi, kama si wewe. Don't touch it.
Usiforce. If it does not want you to wake up in the morning and vroom, wachana nayo. Number 2, stop thinking about the shortcomings and the negatives. They are going to make you slack and they are going to make you scared. Yes. You know?
So what do?
You just look at the goal. Like, what are you going to achieve in the end? Like, for me, I know, not that I am guessing, I know that God is going to open for me a very wazimu restaurant. Amen. That is going to retain the food culture of Kenya. So that is what I know God will do for me. And I'm not stopping to look at things on the side, anger economies, but me, I'm just going there.
Well done.
You see? Number 3, you do not need millions to start.
Okay.
Food business. I told you 50 bob was transport. Imagine. And it was my capital. Yeah? Anza tuna what you have. If you have a small sufuria, start with it. If you're selling clothes, take a photo, post it. Si lazima hata ununue mannequin. You can hang it on a hanger and just hook it
wear
somewhere.
It yourself.
Or wear it yourself, even better, your own model. Yeah? We are on number 4, yeah? Number 4, please, when you're starting a business, please remember that you don't need to bring everyone on your journey. Yeah?
Who's important to come with you?
You yourself.
Okay.
and God on top.
Indeed.
Those who support you will wataingia lane yako. If they don't, they will overtake you or they will watabaki nyuma. Don't hawa watu wakukwambia hey, unajua by the way sasa biashara ni mbaya, economy ni mbaya, usianze unaweza anguka nini. Those ones just waache kwa roundabout you, kanyaga mafuta. Just bring along the right people who support you. Hata kama ni wawili, just carry them along.
And lastly,
number 5, don't be greedy. Don't
emphasis
want to,
on that, especially in this country.
You know, the thing with people, you're there on your lane and then you're looking aside.
I'm telling you.
This one has a V8 and they have a kadudu.
Exactly.
Now this is your business. Your business is kadudu. You want to look at a V8.
It's true.
And now you start losing focus. What will happen? You'll get an accident to kombele.
That's true.
Yeah? Stick to your lane, angalia mbele, kanyaga mafuta proper, kanyaga proper. Hata huyo wa V8 unaweza enda usimame kidogo wewe ununue chopa yako ukuje umpite juu.
Aya basi.
You know?
Speak
it.
Yeah.
So just be patient with yourself.
I love your positive energy. How did you get to be this chap? Have
you
always been this way?
I've not always been this chap.
How did you get here?
Self-awareness, as I've told you, and accepting things, accepting that umerudi hapa, you need to step up. And also, I would not want to leave a bad legacy for younger girls to look up to.
Good.
You know? So many young people are frustrated, but if they see you have a little bit of joy and positivity, they just want to talk to you and want you to encourage them.
Amen.
Now, if I'm harsh and if I'm just like, oh, you know, no one will want to talk to me or tell me they want to start up, you know.
In fact, as we finish, I mean, next week or next month in March, you'll be celebrating women on Women's Day. And you just mentioned you want to leave a legacy for the young girls. So what would your legacy be for the day you do have a daughter, amen, or the girls watching you and follow you? What legacy would you like to leave behind for them?
I would love young girls to know that the only limit is here. The only limit is in your head. No one limits you, nothing limits you.
That's true.
Only you can limit yourself. And nothing is impossible for the girl child. Yeah? So many women are doing well.
Indeed.
We have pilots who are women. We have doctors who are women. We have women doing great things. We have bosses who are women.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And they are not just bosses. They are those bosses that when they come into the office, men are like, not like a male boss who comes in and people are just there looking at. So yeah, women are capable of winning, and women who've made it, be someone that young women can look up to and be open to them and be kind to them. Don't be cold to them. Don't try and show them that you're on another level.
Don't get there, then forget the rest.
Yeah, don't forget the rest. And you don't, when people think about women empowerment, they think it's money. It's not money. A young girl can come to you, have 2,000 bob. I don't know how I'm going to start with this. They don't want money. They just want your input.
That's true.
They just want you to show them what they can do with it. And another thing that I want to insist on women who are up here should do to young women. Don't just show them how to move forward. Even teach them financial literacy.
That's good.
Many women are making money out here, but they don't know how to invest it, how to invest, how to save it, how to, and you know, or there are people who make, have you met people who make a lot of money, but they are so stingy on themselves. They are so, they don't want to go.
Scared to run out.
Yeah, you meet them, they are wearing the same old sweater. You meet them, they're, you know.
Wow, Chep.
Yeah, so strike a balance between saving, investing, and spending on yourself.
Got it.
Because no one is here to stay. See what it. We will go to heaven, all of us. Of course, heaven. We'll go to heaven. So when you're here, just strike a balance.
Thank you. What next from Chep?
What next?
What can the world expect from you?
The world, okay. Brand growth. I want to grow my brand so much. Yeah.
And that's what do you mean? Do you want to open a restaurant in New York? What do you mean by brand?
No. Yeah. Just Kenya. But retaining the food culture of Kenya, because I feel we are sometimes going outside towards other food cultures and we've not perfected ours.
I see.
Yeah, and that is why I also have, I've done cookbooks.
You have?
Yeah.
I think having a bigger vision and a bigger purpose, knowing that it just doesn't end with you, but you have to think about who is coming after you. Yeah, sure.
I just remembered something. I was talking to a friend about the other day.
Yeah.
6 years ago or 5 years ago, I used to tell God, God, please give me a boyfriend who has a car. And then I think God is very funny. He just looks at me and he's like, continue.
We are naomba nini.
So I turned 26 the other week,
Happy
and
birthday.
God blessed me with a car.
Oh, all by yourself.
Yes.
And your business.
Yes.
Oh, amen.
And I used to tell
a
God,
lesson in your work will reward yourself.
He used to tell God, because I had told myself, I cannot buy a car, but God give me a boyfriend with a car. Mwenye akona yake.
Mtumie hiyo.
Tuipande. But then God now was just looking at me and laughing. He's like,
you were dreaming small.
Yeah, I was dreaming small, you know. So on my 26th, God did it for me. So nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
Yes.
And what I've taken home from that is, look at that. You can start your own business. And now you've rewarded yourself, bought yourself your first car.
Yes, and I'm happy that I'm also employing other people.
You're employing people. You've opened a second restaurant, and there's more to come. So we celebrate you.
Yes.
We celebrate you. And I told you I have a gift for you. Thanks, my dear. Thanks to Nivea. You said you use their products. I hope you love this one. This is one of my favorite. It's a Nourishing Cocoa Butter Cream.
Yes.
It smells nice. It's good for the skin. I tend to have dry skin. This will handle that. And we also have the body cream. Yeah, so you'll decide.
Nisiparare ni kinini.
Hakuna kupara. Hakuna kupara.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
most
really
welcome.
appreciate.
This bag is yours as well, so you can keep them here.
You. I can carry groceries from the market.
Exactly. Well done,
I'm
Nivea. We can
thinking
reuse your bags. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for just being a positive woman and being a positive change and impact in society. It's what we need, and that's why we're celebrating you. That's why we are here with Nivea this month, to just celebrate women doing amazing things in life. I know you at home can do the same. The lesson here today is, no matter what you have, whatever is in your hand, from starting a mtumba business to having a natural love for cooking and starting a business, and look what she's done now. You too can do it, right? Yeah? I think you can. Thank you for watching. This is Unscripted. Special thanks to our beautiful location, Radisson Arboretum, and our client, Nivea, and of course, you at home. Reach out to us. Our details are below. We'd love to hear from you. But until next week, goodbye and God bless.